the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com.
I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. Welcome to episode 38. We want to thank you guys for listening. Hope you're enjoying all the episodes we've done so far. We want to definitely start this episode by saying thank you to all the contributors for the Buy Me a Coffee contest that we did last month. And we thank all of you for being a part of it. You know, even if you didn't win, we just want to thank you. And this is going towards helping out the show and helping us sound better for all of you guys. And you know, we're still learning. I mean, 38 episodes in, we're doing our thing. We're having fun with it, but we're still learning and trying to improve with our gear and trying to improve just how we do the whole show. And but we thank you guys for sticking with us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We, like I said, the contest went well. We got some cool contributors, really helped. And don't forget, you can contribute at any time, not just last month. At any time, you could kick in and help the show at buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. And I think it's about time we announce who actually won our little giveaway. We did a drawing last month. Well, we ran up until the 31st of last month for contributors, and whoever, you know, kicked in was entered in a drawing, and we picked our winner. And we figured, you know what, we got a good response. Let's pick a runner-up too. So we have two winners. We have the winner, and then we have the other winner. So that's
the winner gets a chicken dinner. Don't quote us on that. You know, you get to be on the show. You might get a chicken dinner on the side. The runner-up,
we don't have the budget for that. That's why we need you guys' help, because we want to buy chicken dinners for everybody. So contribute to chicken dinners for everyone. As soon as we make $1 million with the Steve and Crypto Show, chicken dinners for fucking everybody. But
so
seriously, though.
no chicken dinner for runner-up. Sorry,
no.
But you do get to be on the show.
Yeah, that's it. Our runner-up, we want to invite you to come on the show too. And our runner-up is I'd say a drum roll, please, but your drums are probably in storage or
invisible drum roll.
Wherever you store them at. We can't even get a drum roll. We got a drummer. My co-host is a drummer, but he can't even give me a drum roll right now. But I see him drumming, but you don't. But hey, Josh Cook is an old friend and friend of the show. Good dude. We want you to come and hang out and tell us about you. Tell us. I know a little bit about you. I know some cool things you've done in the past, which you may or may not want to talk about. Nothing weird. Like, he wrote a book. He wrote a good zombie book back in the days when the world was zombie crazy. But it's pretty cool. Maybe he'll tell us a little bit about it. But Josh, thank you for always supporting and being fucking cool and being.
Yes, thank you very much.
Being one of our favorites and allowing us to be one of your favorites too. And so I will connect with you soon, try to get you up on this show and shoot shit with us, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's nothing weird, because I know we've had some weird conversations in the past. So let's not get too weird. And but our grand prize winner, who's going to get our mystery prize pack, which is going to take a short while before we get it to you, because I'm still rounding shit up to put in it. Like, I want it to be cool. I want you to open it and be like, holy shit, this is like Christmas. But better, because it's probably going to be some nerdy and spooky cool shit in there, because that's what we're all about.
Yep, same here. I got a few things. I got a couple things set aside, but I want to add to it. But, good things take time.
Good things take time, and we want to make it right for another one of our big supporters, who's constantly out there championing the show and always promoting and everything. It's a good dude, friend from Seattle named Joe Saldezo. He's a big fan, a fellow mutant, one of our mutant fam who loves Joe Bob and the community based around him, which is interesting because we have a guest that ties into that whole community, which we'll mention in a minute. Another thing, well, thanks again, Josh, Joe, you guys rock. Can't wait to talk to you guys. I also got to thank you guys from the bottom of our black hearts for all the votes for us for the podcast awards. Now we just wait. Now we just sit tight and wait and see if we got on the short list where we actually get judged by, I guess they have a panel of judges and listeners and stuff. So we'll see. I'm ready to be judged. Normally I'd say don't fucking judge me, but please judge me. We want to be judged.
This time we're giving you permission. Please.
Do it. But
hey, good luck to all the podcasts.
Yes.
Podcasters that were a part of the contest. Good luck to all of you.
A lot of good shows. Yes, that's exciting. Last episode, we had Captain Slinky, our buddy right. Brian, the weird lamp guy, came on to tell us about his lamps and how you can check them out and some other projects he's working on. That was a fun little chat, and we talked about some news and other business and this and that and some other shit. I mentioned we have a member of the mutant fam here to chat with us on this episode. He's actually a cast member of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. He's the musical director of the show, the man who wrote the theme song for The Last Drive-In. We have John Brennan, super cool dude, crazy dude, hilarious dude. He's a singer, songwriter. He's acted, he's directed, he's produced movies. He's super passionate about everything he does. And he's, like I said, he's fucking funny, man. He's just a funny dude. His songs are funny. Like if Crypto wouldn't mind, we were talking before we came on about, he had a recent loss in the family, and
dude, John's music really kind of turned me around for a little bit earlier today. Just put me in a better mood, So anyone else who's out there, if you're kind of down about something, look him up. Look up John Brennan's music, and I guarantee you'll find at least one song that'll make you laugh,
make a smile, put a smile on your face. But yeah, same time, a lot of love out to you and your family. Sorry to hear about loss and everything. But thanks to John for cheering you up.
Yeah. It was a really fun conversation chatting with him. I hope that we can talk with him again sometime in the future, and hope that everybody who listens to this one, hope you dig it. Let us know if you like it. Reach out to John. Let him know if you dig the episode.
Yes, he'll definitely be back. He has a new album out, a couple new albums out. One is the Last Drive-In. It's like a soundtrack, I guess, with a bunch of like covers and originals from John and the cast of the show, and then his solo album, which we'll talk about in the conversation with him. Before we get to that, you mentioned, since we're talking about The Last Drive-In, they our friends at Fright Rags are they're restocking a bunch of their best-selling Joe Bob gear, like some of their season 3 Joe Bob and Darcy tees, and the Monster Vision tee, and the Chili Bandit stuff, and more. And they also have their super comfy lounge pants. Those lounge pants are cool. That they put out for all these different franchises and stuff are really cool. And they look super comfy. I haven't gotten any. I have a tough time with lounge pants and stuff because I don't know. But Get them all now, and be well dressed for the next time Joe Bob hits the air. Season 4 is coming, but check it out only at fright-rags.com.
It's cool that you mentioned the pajama pants, because that's one of those things you almost never have enough of. And I definitely need some horror related pajama pants in my collection. And if I'm going to get any, I'm definitely going to get them from Fright Rags. They bring you the best in horror apparel and accessories, and they've been carrying the best lines since 2003. I guarantee you're going to find something there. They offer a wide range of products for your favorite creature features, slasher flicks, and cult classics. Collections include John Carpenter's Halloween, Universal Monsters, Night of the Living Dead, Creepshow, Twin Peaks, one of my favorites, Evil Dead, and so many more. All they're officially licensed and available soon or right now at fright-rags.com. Steve and Crypto Show listeners get 10% off when they use code SteveCrypto10. That's one word, SteveCrypto10 at checkout. So go there now. Go get you a Creep Show t-shirt. Get you them Child's Play pajamas. I see that they have some new Killer Clowns from Outer Space apparel. There's the, The Back to the Future gear. They have so many different lines. I mean, if you go there and don't find something, I'll be surprised.
And definitely get the Joe Bob stuff. Support that show.
Oh yeah.
Support our friend John Brennan, who we're going to talk to here in a minute.
Yes.
Hope you guys dig it. We're going to get to that, but I just want to let you guys know before we close the episode, I have a little teaser for the next episode to share with you guys that will run after the John Brennan chat. We're like really fucking hyped for the next episode too, which I think you guys will dig, especially with Halloween and spooky season just around the corner, which I mean it's already there for us. It's November 1st. It's time. I start counting down November 1st. Halloween's October 31st, and November 1st I'm already counting down for the next one. But yeah, man, you guys will dig. We got a little promo teaser to share with you guys before we close out the episode. So for now, dig John Brennan, and he actually sent us a song to play for you guys too from his new album. So let's chat with John. We'll be back.
Hello, this is Agoro, host of the Agoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, we are on the Steve and Crypto Show. I'm excited to be chatting with one of my mutant brethren. If you know us and listen to us, he probably don't really need much introduction. But we have John Brennan, the man, the music producer of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. So, John, what's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Yeah, Thank you for being here with us.
We definitely are glad to have you on so you could tell us about some of the inspirations and stuff behind the new record. But first, how are you recovering from the Jamboree?
Oh, man. So the Jamboree was wild. It was a roller coaster ride from Thursday to Sunday. And I didn't get back until Monday real late. Probably like 8, 9 o'clock at night. But my voice after the set that we did on Saturday was completely shot. Completely gone to the point where I sounded like an old woman where I was like I couldn't get the words out or the sounds out of my throat. So that just started. Today is Tuesday, so it took a full week to get back to normal. But I didn't feel any sickness. The only thing while we were on site, my eye started to get a little. I thought I had pink eye or something, but I guess it was just the dust in the sky because whenever I went inside somewhere, it would just disappear. So once that was fine, I was good. Other than that, I feel bad. I heard Joe Bob and Darcy had like flu-like symptoms, but I heard they're getting better now. So
well, that's good. That's good. I'm actually gonna see them the end of August in Seattle. So I'm excited to finally get to
cool.
meet them. Obviously they're both super cool with bands and stuff and very interactive, especially Darcy. She's like,
oh yeah,
she's
what a
just
great
like an old friend. Yeah.
What a great ambassador for the show. I mean, Darcy
God.
is seriously when they said mail girl back in the day, it was all snail mail. Darcy's also taking care of Twitter mail and email and snail mail, all of the mail. So she's doing a great job, and I think that she's a great spokesperson and ambassador for the show.
I honestly feel like without her, it's not to the level it is. I mean, people have loved Joe Bob for a long time, but this show, without her, it's like,
yeah, it's a new iteration. It's dawn of a new day, and she's brought so much to it, and brought together the mutant fam. So hopefully we keep doing this for a little while to come.
Yes, hoping. So yeah, it seemed like obviously I wasn't at the Jamboree, so it seemed just watching from the sidelines, watching the weather and all that stuff. You mentioned your voice, and I'm sure that probably didn't help much. The weather changing and raining and then hot and then
it was a wild ride. The Friday's monsoon. In that part in Forrest Gump when he says we had sideways rain. I had never experienced that until that day. We had sideways rain that it was coming in under the tents and blowing them up, and it was nuts. So we all had to hold the tents and help each other. It was a really crazy time. The rest of the rain was sort of we were able to handle it.
Yeah, after that, right? They just set you up. That first one was like the test. Like, you got the balls for this. You're ready for it? Yeah.
Exactly. It was the test. And then we were like, oh man, what if this is like this tomorrow? We still need to do a show. So smartly, the producers, Justin Martell and Matt Mangiarides of The Last Drive-In, the TV show, and Austin Jennings, the director, they immediately went into crisis mode and got a new tent and started developing how they're going to put plywood down, because the original place that we were going to shoot the show after that monsoon was like a lake. My girlfriend, she stepped in one puddle and it went up to her knee. So it was pretty wild. So they went into crisis mode. They definitely handled it. And the rest of the weekend wasn't as bad, but they were ready for another monsoon.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're ready next year. Hopefully they do it again, and they have all these plans and set.
There's rumblings. It was a huge success. So, in my opinion, I can't see how they wouldn't do it again. So I'm ready to do it. If they're ready to do it, we're gonna rock the house anytime we do it.
Yeah, rain or shine.
Rain or
shine. You didn't let the weather get you down.
So lightning was the only thing. One time we had to get a band off the stage because there was lightning within a 3-mile radius.
Oh boy! So
you got to be safe, But it only took about 15-20 minutes until that storm passed, and then we continued on.
Wow, that's great. Way off topic. That just made me think of the other day. I was watching it. I scrolling around social media somewhere, and I saw a video. I don't remember who posted it, but it was of like a indie pro wrestling show, and they were actually out working in the rain and lightning and shit. Like, ooh, that's crazy. Yeah,
that's rough. I mean, especially with all the metal around and you're hooked up to electricity. There's just too much going on.
Yeah, no thanks. Like the ring had like standing water in it. It was just like splash and like, I mean, it looked cool, but the lightning was just
Yeah, we don't need no super villain drive-in guys who get hit by lightning and become the bad guys of the drive-in. That's all comic book stuff. We're based in reality here. Let's be honest.
Kinda, right? Kinda. So it sounds like you had a good time.
Oh yeah.
Seeing some of the clips of the performances, and I don't see how you had any energy for a week after, because you were just rocking the fuck out, excuse my language, but
it was a huge, that was the biggest audience me and my band ever played to, and it was really, really, really amazing. Everybody came up to the front and was really going nuts. I mean, we played what I thought was a pretty obscure song by a band called Operation Ivy, Sound System.
Oh, that's a classic.
Yeah. It's a classic, but I didn't have. You know how many times I tried to introduce that record to people, they didn't know it, and then all of a sudden it was like the one song I was kind of maybe we were going to cut, and when we did it, the whole place lit on fire. It was like people were skanking and all that stuff. It was amazing. So we're thinking about covering some more Operation Ivy, and that's just such a great band. Anybody out there who hasn't heard that stuff,
yeah, you better keep that one in the set for next time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be the closer every time.
Yeah.
Did I catch wind that you covered a Motley Crue song too?
We did. We did Livewire by Motley Crue, and I figure, why the hell not? You know, I mean, I grew up on Motley Crue, and I think Too Fast for Love is really just a great album with all these amazing songs. And I don't know. I think that's partly why my voice went away, because I was trying to hit those real high notes, and I hit a couple.
Hey, don't feel bad. Apparently, Vince can't do it anymore either. So
yeah, I saw him when he opened up for Kiss. That Motley Crue opened up for Kiss maybe like 8 years ago, and he was struggling, but they were still great. The band was amazing, and whatever. Sometimes you just get old and you can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of it, I guess.
But you can't take away the songs. I mean, those are amazing songs.
They're classics. They're timeless.
Absolutely.
Just like your cheeseburger song, timeless.
Cheeseburger. I love writing songs about food. There's not enough songs about food.
I was going to bring that up.
Cheeseburgers are never going out of style. You know it.
I was trying to think of a funny way to bring that up. Like, hey, a lot of your old catalog has food as a subject matter. I was like, am I to believe that you eat food? Like, I don't know. I couldn't think of a good joke for us. I was just like, never mind. I'll leave it out.
You can't say you're not writing relatable material, right? I mean, do people not enjoy cheeseburgers?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, people love cheese. One of the first songs I ever wrote was a song called Barbecue Maniac. And it was based on, I don't know if you remember the video for Ain't Nothing But a G Thing by Dr. Dre.
Yep.
There's one part where they're playing beach volleyball, and they sort of like slowly zoom in on this one guy at a barbecue, and he turns around and he has a gun in his waist belt. And I said, who's that guy? I want to know who he is. So I wrote a song about him called Barbecue Maniac.
Nice.
And so from an early age, I was very inspired by food. But I also recall the story that Kurt Cobain, Weird Al reiterated when he asked Kurt Cobain for permission to do Smells Like Nirvana. And the first thing that Kurt Cobain apparently asked was, is it going to be about food?
That's funny.
And Weird Al, he's written some amazing songs about food. Yeah. So he's the master.
The master. You mentioned the Barbecue Maniac. Me and Crypto Zoo are both... we both love listening to a mutual friend, Lee Evans' Night of the Horror Fall podcast. And he uses a bit from that song at the beginning, which
it's awesome. Cool. It's really Lee, he asked me early on. I said, absolutely, use it. It's just sitting there chilling. So use the song, please. Yeah. And that's really helped me out too. So thanks to him.
I sing along to it every time I listen to the show.
And ribs, yep. That just sticks in my head. I hear that for like the next hour. And ribs,
I used to work at a barbecue joint for a little while, so it kind of rings the old barbecue nostalgia bell for me. I do want ribs.
You do. You want hot dogs.
As a matter of fact,
Here comes the rice.
I try to eat sort of vegan. I call myself vegan curious, but man, I can't deny a good barbecue if I see it.
Sure. That's the testament to how good meat tastes, is that vegans are still trying to make a substitute for it.
I did that last night. Actually, I made we made a fake pulled pork, like a fake barbecue pork out of mushrooms, and it was good. It tastes good if you season it right, like. Certain mushrooms will take the flavor, but it's still.
It's not the same. I love vegetarian food, and eventually, I'm sure I'll slow down on the meat eating for the health reasons. But I still think I got at least 10 years in me before I got to worry about that. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'll go to a barbecue spot and get the beans and the slaw or the cornbread or whatever, and then I'm looking at the menu like, how much for one rib? Can I just get one rib, please? I just want one rib.
Chris Rock
just one.
I just want a little bit, just a little flavor.
What is that? I'm gonna get you, sucker, right?
Yes,
yeah,
classic. Yeah, love that movie.
I have to have just a little bit, it's like maybe stick it in the side of your mouth like chew and just leave it there. Like,
you got a little,
a
little dip of pulled pork in there,
There's not enough songs about food, and any songwriters out there, just write a song about food. I think I have about 20 now, so I'm gonna keep going. I got burritos, hot dogs,
You
cheeseburgers,
need to
barbecue.
put out a greatest hits. Put out a greatest hits album of food.
Well, the Big Feet and I are talking about a few themed sets that we're going to do. And one of them is definitely going to be mostly songs about food.
Nice.
So that's all coming up probably 2022 when we start to really get back into action.
I can see an album cover, like an album cover that folds open like a menu. Just like have the track listing in it.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah, like a menu.
Beautiful idea. Yeah, we'll do it. I mean, we're coming back. So food songs are coming back in a big way.
So speaking of songs, you just dropped a new album. Is it out yet? I know it was up for pre-order recently.
Yeah.
Is it ready to go? Is it shipping?
Yeah,
or is
both actually. Hands? Yeah, both. So we got 2 out right now from Ship to Shore Phono Co. The first one is the Last Drive-In original soundtrack, which has 20 plus songs from the show. And the cover is beautiful. It's like a Sgt. Pepper's parody.
Yes, that cover is awesome. Actually, I didn't realize they were putting it online, available to purchase. And I had a buddy that went to the Jamboree, and somebody showed a picture of the album, and I was like, "Find this record for me."
Yeah,
but he got one. It's in the mail right now, coming to me. But
that's available now. And I want to shout out to the artist. Justin Osborne, Slasher Design. What an incredible piece of work. I mean, he did such an amazing job, and it's part of the fun is like looking in the background at all the characters and trying to name them all.
Yeah.
The level of detail that he added was just incredible. So without that, I don't know, it would have been a whole different ball game. But that's really cool that we got to compile all the songs together and have such an awesome, because I'm a huge Beatles fan. I mean, I'm like a diehard Paul McCartney. I just watched that thing on Hulu last night all the way through. Amazing to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. Him and Rick Rubin just shooting the shit about his career. It's so good.
Imagine just being a fly on the wall and just like hanging out with those two and just listening to their stories and just.
It'd be incredible. I was sort of tearing up a little bit because I think, there's not a lot of people left who I would be very, very upset if they passed on as far as celebrities are concerned. But right. Paul McCartney's a major one. That guy, he's given me so much joy in my life. He's almost like an uncle or something, that I never met. He's just been there since I was born. So seeing him like that, I hope he has like 20 good years left in him. Let's get him to 100, 105.
Yeah. Still putting albums out.
Yeah.
103 years old, jamming with Dave Grohl or something.
Hey,
sure. McCartney 3 was pretty good. He just put that out. That was really good.
If the Rolling Stones are still going, then I'm sure McCartney can too.
Absolutely. I saw him live maybe 4 years ago, and he was incredible. He did so many songs. It was like a 2.5 hour show.
Wow.
Stamina.
Great.
I don't think I'd have 15 minutes in me, let alone 2.5 hours.
It's cool how some of these older bands are playing a lot longer shows than some of the younger ones that you hear about. Some band that's maybe been out for 5-10 years might do an hour set, but then a band like Rush, of course, not around anymore, but even in their last final tours, I know Rush was doing like 2-hour shows, 2.5, maybe even closer to 3. So
yeah,
and they're not playing the easiest of music either.
No, it's insane. I don't know how those guys keep their voices and fingers in check with all that, fingering and then singing and hitting those notes. I mean, especially Geddy Lee with some of that stuff. Yeah, incredible, man. True professionals.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. They're so seasoned that it's just they can't. They probably don't do much else outside of that, but
yeah.
Well, they've been doing it for so long. It's like brushing their teeth.
Look at Ozzy. Like when he comes off stage, you just got to kind of like lean him up against the wall somewhere and just we'll turn you back on later, Ozzy. Charge you back.
See, that's another one. I'll be very upset when Ozzy goes. I mean, that guy is just the Godfather. He's.
I know. I've been listening to him for so long, been a fan for so long. I got to see Black Sabbath on their final tour. And, that's like a checklist thing for me. That's like, my dad introduced me to them when I was 9. That pretty much started my love for rock and roll and metal. So
yeah. Oh, it's good shit. It's so good. And it'll never die. I mean, it'll ebb and flow with heavy metal, but it'll never go anywhere. It's always going to be there.
Yeah.
Speaking of metal, you collabed on a song for the last drive-in with Chris Jericho, the GOAT. How the hell is like working with that dude? Like he seems like
great.
Yeah,
Great guy. I mean, just like a consummate professional. The guy came in. He learned the song in 15 minutes. He nailed the vocal takes. Like,
of course he did.
Yeah, 2 takes. He opened up for Iron Maiden, so the guy knows what he's doing. And he was really great. I was very grateful that he agreed to even do that. I mean, he didn't have to do that, and he didn't know who I was or any of that stuff. He just did it for Joe Bob. But that helped me immensely in my career. I mean, the fact that I could say that I worked with Chris Jericho is a huge, huge thing for me. So, very gracious, grateful to him, and really cool guy. He also knows a lot about music. We were talking about Mr. Bungle and all kinds of stuff. The guy knows his stuff.
Yeah,
he loves music. He knows music, and he got a pretty good knowledge of horror stuff too. So, it's that's a busy dude too.
Yeah, he is.
Busy people.
How does he do it all? How does he do it all?
And he
hell of an entertainer all around.
Oh yeah. You know, also when we were talking, just the fact that it's like thinking about the fact that he has the time to come to the last drive-in, but then he's constantly on the AEW stuff, doing his own thing. Then he's making music. Then he's doing it's just like so much. How do you find the time in a day? It's like sometimes I could barely even find the time to eat pizza or whatever.
Right.
This guy is running all over the world.
And then you'll see him on social media, like hanging with the family and like being happy. And it's like, how'd you do that? There's got to be. I think there's like 5 Chris Jerichos running around.
And then he came on a second time on the show for the Things episode, the VHS night. Mm-hmm. And some people were saying that he was sort of, not good for the episode because he was being so mean to the movie. But he's a wrestler. Have you ever heard of turning heel?
Right.
He was playing his part. That was his part.
Exactly.
He was cutting promos.
You got to stay in character.
He stayed in character.
Great. This is veering left a little bit, but it's about staying in character. Samoa Joe, I heard him maybe on an interview or something talking about that very same thing. And he's like, man, I kind of hate going through airports because people want to come up and say hi and talk to me. And I'm staying in character, So he's like that heel character, just keep walking.
Yeah. There's some of those guys. There's some of the guys that have been around doing it long enough that they still have some of that old school mentality.
Sure. And it's a show. At the end, it's entertainment. It's a show. And sometimes a good show needs a good villain.
Yeah.
So, and the turning heel is some of the best moments in wrestling history for sure.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And Jericho's been a great villain, for off and on. I mean, he's just good in the ring, period. But I mean, he's a great villain, man.
Absolutely.
And then the whole list gimmick that he had going for a while, that was a hell of a comeback for him. Like, there's so many different talents that they're trying to fit into a 2 or 3 hour program, and then for him to come back after being around for so long and come back with that gimmick, it really, really worked.
That's awesome.
Not so many of the older guys can come back with something that does hit, but that really was popular.
Yeah, he is a great guy. Great, very, very happy to have worked with him.
Very cool. Maybe it'll happen again.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll bring you on a Fozzy album.
You never know.
Maybe he'll call you in. He'll call you in for AEW. You can come in and attack somebody with a chair.
I'm a pacifist. I'm gonna chill and just smoke weed in that chair. You know what I mean?
There you go.
So actually, to bring it back to the original question, we went on a nice tangent there. That was awesome.
Yes.
The second album that's out right now is my first solo record. It's called No Offense, None Taken. And originally, this record, it has nothing to do with The Last Drive-In. Nope. Originally, it was supposed to be my first studio album. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. So instead of canceling the whole project, I spoke to Ship to Shore and I said, how about I lean into my home recording roots and do some like weird eclectic album that maybe like early fans of early Ween or early Beck can get into. And they were down for it. So I spent like 6 months in the pandemic sort of going through my old back catalog, seeing what sort of instrumentals I had. And then I wrote a bunch of new stuff. and that's what came out. It's like a genre hopping odyssey of lo-fi eccentric music.
That's it. That's
cool.
the exact the word I was thinking. Just hearing, I've heard the first two singles, "Shark on the Dance Floor," which we'll play at the end of the episode, and "I Found Heaven."
Yeah,
and I was just like, it's like such an eclectic mix. There's like everything from like punk to country-ish to dancey kind of stuff, and it's just like
totally
crazy.
I was gonna say I get a splash of like dance disco in there a little bit.
Everything.
With the "I Found Heaven" one.
It's in cool. there, you know. That's like that was sort of inspired by like the chill wave movement of Ariel Pink and those guys, you know. And that instrumental I had sitting around for a very long time, and I never knew what to do with it. In fact, I use that every once in a while in like old Troma promos, really sped up, really fast, and then I slowed it down, and it sort of sounded nice and dreamy. And I started to feel some feelings about it, and I wrote a song about love and heartbreak, which, you know, sometimes those things just, instead of food, that's what comes out of you, and that's what you're feeling that day. And the fact that most people have come out and said that that's their favorite song on the record is completely surprising to me, but I love it because I have many, many more songs where that came from. So hopefully I could do more of in that vein.
That's what that made actually hearing that you mentioned you use it in Troma promo, it made me think of Troma movies. Like this, this has a Troma feel, but you've actually worked a lot with Troma, and I think you've produced, directed, done music, all kinds of shit for them, right?
Everything from scrubbing the toilets to producing the movies at Troma. I literally met Lloyd while I was scrubbing the toilet, you know. He looked at me, was like, "Oh."
Not while he was using it, right? Yeah.
He was about to. I was making it nice and shiny for him.
Go. Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah. Well, the thing was, I went there as an editing volunteer, but I noticed that the toilet was pretty filthy, and I said, you know, you want me to clean it? And somebody there told me, oh, that's one of the responsibilities for the interns. Oh, not intern. They call them observer volunteers. So for legal reasons. So one of the things for the observer volunteers is like, you got to tidy up and stuff. And I was a janitor, so I had no shame in getting dirty and throwing some Fantastic or whatever on the bowl and cleaning it just to make it look nicer. And it won me a couple of fans there in the office. So it was the first step into the journey. Yeah. And then, you know, I went along, and Lloyd, I worked there for like on and off for a year doing other projects. And then Lloyd lost one of his assistants who was going on to another job. And he just asked me, he said, "You want to try this?" And at first I wasn't really sure, but he said one of the things he said that won me over was, he said, it's going to be a great collaboration, which when somebody like Lloyd Kaufman says it's going to be a great collaboration, you jump at the chance.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to work with Uncle Lloyd. Yeah.
Exactly. So I worked with that guy every day for about 4 years, and it turned into a great collaboration. I produced 2 of his movies. I wrote, directed countless things. I was allowed to do a web series based on Kabuki Man, Sergeant Kabuki Man NYPD, called Kabuki Man's Cocktail Corner. I made 3 Dolphin Man shorts. So I played the Toxic Avenger on Kevin Smith's Comic Book Men. So I was able to do a lot of cool stuff because I said yes to some, you know, to an assistant's job, which I didn't necessarily want, but it turned into more. So, yeah.
You always got to take those opportunities like that, you know. It's like, speaking of, how did you end up working with Joe Bob in The Last Drive-In?
Well, that sort of spawns similarly from Troma into Joe Bob. So I met a couple of guys at Troma, Matt Mangiarides, who was the head of Troma Team Video at the time I started. He knew that I did music because he had me do a knockoff of Goodbye Horses by Q Lazarus, because in Return to Newcomb High, aka Volume 2, Lloyd Kaufman tucks his dick and reenacts the Buffalo Bill scene from Silence of the Lambs. And they couldn't afford Q Lazarus Goodbye Horses, so I did a knockoff, and it turned out pretty good. So Matt Mangiarides and then Justin Martell, who also produced Return to Newcomb High Volume 1 and 2, and then I produced Shakespeare Shitstorm with him. They asked if I would do a demo for Joe Bob when they got involved with him. And I said, sure. They said, yeah, other people are going to take a stab at this, but see what you can do. And I threw something together, and it got approved. The next day I got a call from Austin Jennings, the director. And he said, you know, if you add like a slide guitar and an organ here and maybe a fiddle, it's the theme song. And that was that. It was like almost the easiest thing that I ever had to do. It was amazing.
And it just took off from there.
Yeah, after 35 years of struggle.
35 years of struggle.
It was something happened that was like overnight, and then we hit the ground running with that. It was amazing.
And now you're headlining the big mud pit at the Mahoning Theater.
Yeah, which is to me completely surreal. I mean, I was just a weirdo. Like movies have always been my main passion. Music has always been my hobby and almost like my therapy, just because it comes easy to me and I do it. And then I don't really mind if it doesn't get heard. It's just for me, you know. But now that this is coming to the forefront, it's almost like maybe I should have been concentrating on music the whole time. I don't know.
I mean, it's opening doors. Yeah, it's opening doors in movies for you, though. So.
Well, we'll see. I do have a couple of projects lined up for this fall and early winter going into 2022 that are personal projects that I would be able to write and direct. So we'll see. I mean, it all depends. But movies are so expensive. You need so many people. The logistics are a nightmare. It's hard work. Movies are not easy. Anybody out there who's aspiring and thinking that it's going to be all, you know, just hanging out on set with actors and all this stuff, it is rough. You got to wake up at the crack of dawn, and you got to go to bed past midnight, and sometimes you only get 4 hours of sleep, and then you got to do it all over again. It's really tough. Making movies is so hard, but in the end, most of the time it's worth it.
Yeah, of course. Speaking of they did the live flash driving at the Jamboree.
Oh yeah,
and that was that intro. Somebody filmed it and posted it online, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made it a little emotional. It's gonna be a little tear in the eye when Joe Bob they did the intro and introed you, and then you just played the theme song live, and it was like it's like real.
You know, I gotta say thank you so much, and that makes me feel very good because a few people at the place got emotional. I mean, my girlfriend was saying like she was watching from the sidelines and she was watching people tear up and stuff, and I never in a million years would think that our show would make people do that, but I think it's because the show is it's formed this community around it. It's unlike other shows where you can binge it and then you're alone and you're not interacting with people. The beauty of The Last Drive-In is the fact that people are able to get on Twitter on Friday nights live and talk to each other. That's some of the best stuff, man. If I wasn't even on the show, I'd still be doing it.
Yeah, so for sure.
It's I think it sets us apart from a lot of people, and I really hope that we get to do it for at least another few years.
That would be good. I mean, really, that community is a big part of our show growing, our podcast growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I've probably made more friends just from hanging out on Friday nights, talking shit, making fun of bad movies than I've done most of my life. You know, so
and it was almost like it was very nice to have during the pandemic. You know, it gave you something to do. Yeah. Every Friday was like the social, you know, thing to do, and without it, I don't know what I would have done. It would have been a very tough time, and I feel like a lot of people felt that way. So I hope we keep growing. Man.
That's good. It's gonna keep growing. It'll keep growing.
Yeah. In relation to that, even outside of the whole COVID thing, you've probably heard this before, and you might feel this way, but it takes you back to when you were younger and you had something to look forward to on a Friday night, you know, back when there wasn't streaming, you know, or even another night of the week, but you knew like, all right, this day, this time, I got to be home to watch my show.
Absolutely. And that's what sets also Shudder apart, is that live aspect thing where it's like the premiere is the thing. It's not necessarily, I mean, you could go back and rewatch it 1,000 times, or you could, if you missed it, whatever, but the live tweet along sort of like premiere is the thing. And it's a beautiful, I hope that it sort of expands into other shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's great to be
that'd be cool.
Yeah. I think what I'd like to see happen is, you know, once Joe Bob decides he don't want to do it anymore after a few years, Darcy gets her own show.
Sure, she could do a show. We'll all have our own spinoffs. Yuki,
there you go,
will have his own spinoff. He'll just be showing you how to build stuff, and he'll be like Mr. Science, you know.
We can just have
what's his name, Mr. Wizard. That would be amazing. UP just like putting together potions and building go-karts. I would watch that show in a minute.
I mean, it's kind of like Ernie kind of already has a show. He has like, the intro before the show, the countdown. Usually,
which is very calming. What a calming thing. It's almost like
get
a
you
meditation.
Ready. Yeah. You're about to get into something crazy. So it's like, all right, let me just mellow out and just, I know something wild is going to happen. We're going to see something fucked up, or we're going to see something crazy.
Absolutely. The anticipation's beautiful, and you put that on in the background and kind of get yourself prepared. It's nice.
Yep. Pop that popcorn or get that beer or whatever you're into, and
that frozen pizza. One night, it was
hell yeah.
One of the best things that I did. I forgot which night it was. I think it was VHS night. My girl and I went out to the supermarket, and I got like every single type of frozen pizza, and we went nuts. We had like a frozen pizza panoply. I got the Red Baron, the Elios, the pizza rolls, the bagel bites. We went nuts, and it was honestly the best.
So which one was the best?
They all were amazing because it was different times of the night. So I started with DiGiorno because started with like the pizza rolls, the bagel bites, and the Elios as like the appetizer. The DiGiorno was the main course, and then we had these like Red Baron French bread pizzas that were like dessert.
Right. Awesome. No, it's funny. They don't have Elios out here. That's the little square ones, right? The little rectangle ones.
Yeah, the rectangles. You used to get them in like the cafeteria at school.
Yeah,
they're the best.
Man. They don't have. I grew up in Connecticut, so we had Elios in our frozen food section. But now we're out here. I'm out in Washington.
That's a shame.
Not far from Seattle. They don't have.
Elios, man. We had them in school. Now we're adults, and we're like, I want that old like middle school pizza again. Can't find it.
Oh, it's rough. I mean, but pound for pound, DiGiorno is a great pie. It's so good, and if you just throw it in the oven for the right amount of time,
if you cook it perfectly,
garlic
it's
powder.
Good.
Yeah, it's so good.
So we have a few pizza joints here in town, and I would rather have DiGiorno.
Yeah, that's how I felt a lot of the time while I was in LA. Although I found a couple of good like deep dish places, and then one place on Sunset, I forgot the name of it. They had a great pizza that they would do with meatballs and stuff. But I mean, go to 7-Eleven, get yourself a DiGiorno. It's just as good.
There you go. You can get it anytime, 3:00 in the morning, you can't get a freaking, you can't get delivery. You got to go get DiGiorno.
Speaking of, I should write a song and submit it to the DiGiorno people. Maybe get a jingle out of it.
Yeah, there you go. See? Yeah. Awesome. And I'll hear it, and I'll be like, yes, we helped inspire that.
Hell yeah.
Even Crypto Show inspired. Yeah.
Back in the day, I wrote a song called I'm in Love with Pizza. And I never released it because of Pizzagate. But now that Pizzagate's destroyed, I think I'm going to release it.
There you go.
Storm the gates with your song.
That's right.
Well, let's just go back to songs. The albums. How can people find them?
My stuff, I guess you could just go to like @badtechno on Twitter or Instagram or badtechno.com. That's my old website, which I left up. It's seriously like old school looking, and the only reason I kept it looking that way is because I just like the old school feel of it. But it has portals to like my Twitter and stuff. And on Instagram and Twitter @badtechno, I have my link tree in there where you can find everything. You can find my music, you can find my old Troma shorts, all that sort of stuff.
So you could find links to actually order the albums.
Yeah, all that's in there in my link tree. If you go to like either Instagram or Twitter @badtechno, link tree in the bio, everything's there. All the links.
So there you go. Checking his bio on Instagram and Twitter. Find where to order the albums. Pick them up. Get them. Get them both. But even if you don't want to listen to them, just get them so you can see the cover of the Joe Bob album.
Yeah, I mean
the last Drive-In album is fucking awesome. Like I want a poster of it.
It's worth it just for the art. I mean, honestly,
even though the songs are great.
Yeah. No, but hey, who am I?
Don't listen to my music. Just buy it. Yeah.
Who cares about the music? Get the goddamn. But then on top of that, there's a portal to my Bandcamp, and that has, I don't know, I would say like over 20 records of stuff that I've done since I'm literally like 99. All the home recording stuff, and I put it up there because some of it's really bad, but it also shows the progression of how I started and how I came to be where I am today, and hopefully how I can progress from here. I like that, the warts and all aspect, because some of it I was just experimenting, some of it I was learning, but all of it's like building towards, this sort of thing, the Last Drive-In and the solo records. So
Yep.
you can see the odyssey of my old school stuff on my Bandcamp. It's all there, warts and all.
Yeah. Are there any movies that you've watched that you were like, I could write a better soundtrack, or that you think you would improve the soundtrack with some tunes?
I don't know. I gotta think. Not really improve, but I would love to make my version of like a Dazed and Confused, my soundtrack movie, where I choose popular songs to help tell a story, like a Boogie Nights, Guardians of the Galaxy, Dazed and Confused, those kinds of movies where the popular music propel the narrative. I've been developing something like that for a very long time. So not thinking that I could do it better, but thinking that I could do it as good, because there's some songs out there by some bands that I'm completely surprised I've never heard in any movie or any TV show or anything. And you hear the same shit over and over again sometimes in these movies. It's like, how many times, even though I love the Pixies, how many times can you put Where Is My Mind?
Oh, seriously.
Come on, like, let's get over it. It was great in Fight Club, but let's do something different here. There's a billion songs, literally, that you could choose in place of that, and in fact, there's probably 100 Pixies songs that would fit better. You know what I mean? Sometimes they just do the same stuff over and over, and it gets me. So I would love to do that. Do a soundtrack movie that was using popular music to propel the narrative, and hopefully have some classic scenes behind them.
Dig that. It's a good idea. So who would if you could have anybody in anybody star in your movie that you'd be making, who would be like your dream?
Well, so originally back in the day, I wrote a script, and this is the truth. This is the God's honest truth. In college, this is almost 20 years ago, I wrote a script called Bare Knuckled. And it was about a bear trainer in Hollywood who gets his bear stolen, and then he goes ass kicking across the country to find it. Now, Pig just came out, okay? I didn't write it for Nicolas Cage. I wrote it for Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was like my dream project. But guess what? It didn't happen because I hesitated. I waited. I didn't push this screenplay forward. And that's my fault. And I'm not saying that in any way, shape, or form did Pig steal my idea. What I'm saying is there's always simultaneous creation. There's always people out there who are thinking the same things that you're going to do. And an idea is a dime a dozen. You have to get these ideas out and show them to people. That's the only way that they're going to get made. So what my advice would be is don't wait. Don't hesitate. If you have a script, if you have a movie, if you have a song, put it out into the world and see what happens. Don't hide it away and be a perfectionist, because that's what I did with that movie. And I could have beat Pig to the theaters with Jean-Claude Van Damme as an ass-kicking bear trainer. Okay, I could have done it. And it's documented. It was I got a B+ for the script because I got a B+ because my sorry to curse, but my instructor was a douchebag. He was a stupid douchebag, and I have stories. But I could do a whole podcast about that. But that's another story. But the lesson is, don't hesitate. If you're making art, if you want to make art, even if you think it sucks, put it out there, because you know what? People can help you make it better. That's the only way that you're going to get better, is if you show people. Because if you make art for yourself, that's fine if that's your only goal. But if you want to be somebody or get somewhere, you have to make it and show it to people. That's it.
Great advice.
100%.
Yeah.
Do not wait. This life is the closer that I get to death, the more that I think about, man, I should have done this, that, the other thing. But I also think that there's so much time now. I have all this, now that I have this attitude, I could do more. And I think that other people, maybe need to hear that. Don't wait. Do it now, because somebody out there is writing the Pig of your idea.
Love that. Oh, that should be that's motivational.
Yeah, totally.
Be a motivational speaker.
I'll tell that story to the day I die.
It's a good one. It's real, man. It don't get totally more real than that.
Yep.
Don't let somebody steal your Pig story.
Don't let
Just
somebody take your pig away. You know,
Take
don't
your
let
pig
somebody,
away.
don't let them take your bear. And not about stealing. Like I can't wait to watch that movie. In fact, when I saw it, I was like, "This looks better than anything I would have done. This looks amazing." So I'm really excited, and I hope that Nicolas Cage gets nominated for some Oscars so that he could do some bigger movies too.
I'm gonna have to look in. I don't even know anything about that movie, so I'm gonna have
You
to
haven't
look
heard
it up.
about? Oh,
No.
Pig. Yeah, it looks great. You got to look it up, man. Because obviously, Nicolas Cage has been doing some interesting indie stuff recently, and this seems like the culmination of his indie foray. Not that I don't think that he should continue to do indie stuff, but I'd like to see him back in, a Con Air or something. Like give him a little room to breathe in a Hollywood movie.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's one more time. What's the site that put out your album?
Ship to Shore
Label?
Phono Co. You can look it up. shiptoshoremedia.com is their website. And you can find my stuff there. You could either search John Brennan, which is No Offense None Taken, which is my first solo record, or you could search Joe Bob, and you'll find the Joe Bob Sgt. Pepper original soundtrack vinyl. So
I think it's probably a good point here to wrap it up. We got some good. I'm motivated now.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Do it. Write
Motivated.
your script. Make
Gonna
your song.
Gonna go.
Yeah.
Make a short story.
Order one of Brennan's records.
Film your porno. If you want to be a porn star, just whip your dick out and do it. Let's go. Everybody's got to do their art. Make your art.
Just the next time I'm writing a song, I'm going to say, "That's my pig."
Exactly. This is your pig.
This is my pig. That should be a new thing. Hashtag this is my pig.
That's my pig.
That's my pig.
Just don't make the porno with a pig.
No, don't do any of that.
Don't do that.
What was that show on Netflix? They had that episode where the guy was forced to fuck a pig to save the country. What was that? Black Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a fucked up show.
That's a weird show, man.
Yeah. But it was really interesting. But just that all joking aside, do it. If you're waiting for something or you're afraid of being judged, who cares? What's the worst that could happen? Somebody says no or doesn't like your stuff. Make more.
Pretty much. There you go.
Yep.
100%. Well, hey, we thank you for taking the time to hang out. Like I said, go get his records. They're available now. Watch The Last Drive-In. I'm sure we're gonna see some more.
We're coming back. We're coming back. Season 4 is in the season 4 is cooking right now. We're getting it all together.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Of course, obviously, you can't divulge any potential release dates, but
no, other than just look out for it. It's season 4, so it's probably going to release similarly, but I can't say exactly because I don't have the actual dates. But it's coming. It's season 4 has been confirmed.
Yes.
Okay. Well, at least we can say that now. It's on the way.
Well,
awesome.
John, come back and hang out more. Once you Once you get your projects off the ground, come back and hang out. Or if you come up with anything, you just want to use this platform to talk some shit or tell some stories about your douchebag instructor.
Or, I would love to do an hour on my college life.
Hour on the bad techno college life.
Exactly. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you, man. Thanks for talking with us.
All right. Talk to you later.
Thank you to John Brennan for hanging out. That was a blast. That dude is, like I said, he's a good dude. And his little motivational speech at the end about your pig.
I want to see that hashtag floating around there. Hashtag that's my pig.
That's my pig. But that's good. And we definitely want to bring him back. And John, anytime you want to come back and tell us about your douchebag instructor in college, we're here for you, bro. We're here.
Yeah.
But he also sent us a tune before we're gonna end the episode on it. He sent us the song "Shark on the Dance Floor," which is a fun tune. And I think that's gonna wrap the episode. Be sure to visit us on buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. Go visit our buddies at Fright Rags.
That's right. Go check out all the Joe Bob merch while you can.
And before we play John Brennan's Shark on the Dance Floor, here's a little teaser clip for next week's episode. We've been the Steven Crypto Show. Peace.
Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Jade the Libra, and I do all things Halloween decor hunting, Halloween hauls, all sorts of spooky things, and including spooky music. So just come hang out, have a good Halloween time on the Steven Crypto Show.
Tired as shit. All you wanna do is stay at home and eat some chips. The wifey wants the opposite and she's upset. She's heading to the club with all her freaky friends, and there's a shark on the dance floor. He's a sharp-toothed criminal. He'll be acting on your woman while you're chilling in bed. You should have put on some clothes and hit the club instead. She's gonna freaky deep, she's getting nasty, she's feeling hella free. You best believe me, I know they talk is cheap. This crook is hungry, he's gonna off the sea and feed. There's a shark on the dance floor. He's a sharp-toothed criminal. He'll be acting on your woman while you're chilling in bed. You should have put on some clothes and hit the club instead. I'm a shark in the dark and the dance floor's hot. Watching the people give it all they got. Ooh, your girl just caught my eye. She knows how to move. Damn, she's fly. Join the circle and I shake my ass. That's right, kid, I could dance, dance, dance. Take her back to the VIP, make her laugh. She drinks for free. Smooth, she's into me. I'm the man she wants to be. Easy, it's a victory. You're at home, sipping tea. My advice, stay in bed. Cause when you do, I get mad head. Think it's cruel what I said? Your marriage is dead. I'm all shark on the dance floor. Sharp-toothed criminal. You've been acting on your woman while you're chilling in bed. You should have put on some